Dr. Alverston Bailey is a graduate of the University of the West Indies, Mona, class of 1980, and has over 40 years of experience in public and occupational health and safety. In 2011, he was appointed as adjunct associate professor at the University of Technology, UTech, School of Public Health and Technology, SPHHT, Jamaica, where he played a critical role in establishing the Occupational Health and Safety Division. Since 2016, he has been an associate lecturer at the Caribbean School of Medical Science, Jamaica. He presently practices in Falmouth, Trelawney, as an occupational health and safety consultant and family physician. Dr. Bailey is a past president of the Medical Association of Jamaica and is currently the chair of its board of trustees. He is a fellow of the Caribbean College of Family Physicians and in 2003 was the recipient of the Medical Association of Jamaica President's Award for Outstanding Achievement in the field of family medicine. Since 2008, he is the co-chair of the University Diabetes Outreach Program and has been a spokesperson on diabetes-related issues, as well as a sought-after commentator on public health. He has presented many academic papers nationally and internationally, and is also the author of a book and several training manuals in his area of expertise. He has also been the host of several radio programs on health issues. Dr. Bailey's professional life has been dedicated to health promotion and volunteerism, and he has worked closely with the Diabetes Association of Jamaica for many years and was appointed as the chairman in June 2021. The Honorable Lloyd Barnett. The Honorable Lloyd Barnett is a national of Jamaica and a practicing attorney at law. Dr. Barnett has appeared as counsel in several important cases in public, commercial, and property law in the Superior Courts of Jamaica, several Caribbean countries, as well as the Privy Council and the Caribbean Court of Justice. In 1999, Dr. Barnett was awarded the Order of Jamaica for his outstanding contribution in the field of jurisprudence in the region. The University of Technology and the University of the West Indies have both conferred honorary doctoral degrees in law on Dr. Barnett, and in 2006, the Caribbean Council of Legal Education launched the annual Dr. Lloyd Barnett Lecture Series in his honor. Dr. Barnett has served as president of the Jamaican Bar Association, president of the Organization of Commonwealth Caribbean Bar Associations, chairman of the General Legal Council, the Jamaica Council for Human Rights, University Council of Jamaica, the Caribbean Council of Legal Education, and Citizen Action for Free and Fair Elections. He served as a member of the Police Services Commission in Jamaica and has been a civil society leader, human rights advocate, and former senator in the Parliament of Jamaica. He is the author of 2 books on Jamaica's constitution and numerous articles on a variety of legal topics, which have earned him the respect of judicial and academic authorities across the region and across the world. Dr. Barnett was a member of the Regional Judicial and Legal Services Commission at its inception and is deputy chairman from 2012 to 2016.
Thank you, Mr. Moody, for those 2 introductions. My apologies, those 2 introductory speeches. Thank you very much. And at this time, I would love to introduce Joseph L. Patterson, CPA, CGA, BACCS, who is a chartered professional accountant, social entrepreneur, and good governance advocate. He is the founder and president of Jamaica's 3rd registered political party, the United Independence Congress of Jamaica, otherwise known as the UIC. The UIC is focused on protecting the rights of all Jamaicans to their life, liberty, and property, and aims to create a truly safe, clean, and orderly free society. Mr. Patterson has over 25 years experience in business, finance, and leadership. He graduated from the St. Andrew Technical High School, otherwise known as STATS, with a full scholarship to study engineering at the University of Technology, Jamaica, and later went on to earn an accounting science degree at the University of Calgary in Canada. He also qualified as a CPA, CGA, and rose to directorship positions in both the private and public sectors. Mr. Patterson's international experience is expansive and involves working with over 120 countries. He is currently chairman of the supervisory board for a global impact investment firm based in the Netherlands, which is dedicated to financing and empowering low-income families in Africa, Asia, Latin America, and the Caribbean. Mr. Joseph L. Patterson is also the founder and CEO of Yes Jamaica, a foundation that mentors and finances young entrepreneurs across the country. As president of the UIC, Mr. Patterson is currently fully engaged in leading what he calls a walk for liberty around the country to protest the government's handling of the pandemic. He is opposed to the use of any form of mandatory vaccination by the government or employers. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our introduction of our three speakers. And before we proceed to our presentations, I want to remind you, please, to be respectful of the views and questions of everyone. And please post your questions in the chat, and they will be answered too in our question and answer segment. At this time, I welcome our first presenter, Dr. Alverston Bailey. My apologies. Dr. Bailey, it's your time to proceed. Thank you. You're muted, Dr. Bailey.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind introductions.
You're most welcome.
It's really a pleasure to have been asked by the Faculty of Social Sciences to make this presentation. And I'm feeling quite honored that I've been chosen to discuss a topic that really is so critical and vital to the society and the economy at this point in time. I've actually labeled my topic as mandatory vaccine, if it justified, proportionate, and reasonable, the public health perspective. I'll be introducing the topic, give a brief overview of the history of vaccines, an overview of modern vaccines. Then I'll be looking at some issues relevant to ethics, vaccine mandates worldwide. I'll touch briefly on vaccine hesitancy, and then I'll zoom in on the issue of the day, which is the case for mandatory vaccines, which I anticipate that my colleague, Dr. Lloyd Barnett, will elaborate on. And then I'll give my conclusion. When I was asked to make this presentation, I remembered this gentleman, Donald Rumsfeld, who I thought had some rather interesting philosophical thoughts. He said that there are no knowns. There are things we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there are some things we do not know. But there are also unknown unknowns, the ones we don't know. And I'll argue that at this point in time, we're delving in the region of the known unknowns. Now, immunizations against infectious diseases is one of the most beneficial and cost-effective public health activity. For more than 200 years, vaccines have reduced rates of sickness and death, improved well-being, and enhanced human flourishing. The vaccine has two effects. It has a direct benefit to the person receiving it, and an indirect benefit to other members of the community, the creation of now a well-known term called herd immunity. This story began with Hippocrates in 400 BC, with his description of mumps and diphtheria. And during the 18th century, vaccines for cholera and yellow fever were reported and elaborated on by Edward Jenner, who also developed the smallpox vaccine. The 19th century was a major landmark with the germ theory of disease of Lloyd Barnett. And then we move on to the germ discovered by Robert Koch, which was tubercle bacillus. And the isolation of the pneumococcus organism was by George Miller Sternberg. And then another landmark discovery was the diphtheria toxin by Emile Roux and Lee. In addition, Pasteur was able to generate the first live attenuated viral vaccine against herpes. Now, in 1974, the WHO proposed an expanded program of immunization and suggested that all persons should get the BCG vaccine, polio, DTP, measles, yellow fever, and hepatitis B. In 1996, the recent launching of the International AIDS Vaccine Initiative.